Into custody. In business, federal government, Chinese first signed power water supply understanding. On the foreign scene, several passengers injured as plane skids off runway in Indonesia. And in sports, Danjuma thrilled as Falconets achieve under 20 World Cup milestone. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agmofwebe. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nightcomsat. Tonight, we begin by telling you the Department of State Services, DSS, has arrested the President of Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, Joe Ajaero. Head of Information of the Congress, Benson Upa, confirmed that Ajaero was arrested at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja on his way to the United Kingdom for an official assignment where he was scheduled to attend the Trade Union Congress Conference in London. In a statement released later, the union confirmed that Ajaero had been detained, an action he described as a brazen act of lawlessness and intimidation. Meanwhile, the United Action Front of Civil Society has strongly condemned the arrest of Nigeria Labour Congress President Joe Ajaero by the Department of State Services at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. The civil society group described the arrest as a needless show of force and an attempt to cause national anarchy. They argued that Ajaero, as a high-profile citizen and leader, should have been treated with decorum and courtesy rather than being subjected to what it called dehumanizing tactics. In a similar vein, officers from the Department of State Services have taken control of the Abuja office of the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP. Now, the organization describes the action as an unlawful occupation. This was contained in a statement released by SERAP on its X handle. It says the officers are demanding to meet with the organization's directors and called on President Bola Tinubu to intervene. The embattled national chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abure, has said the party's presidential ticket for the 2027 election is no longer reserved for its former candidate, Peter Obi. Speaking during a conference briefing after the party's National Executive Committee meeting in Abuja, Abure said the 2027 presidential ticket is now open to all members. He said NEC in the session also interviewed and reviewed the decision of the National Convention to reserve its presidential and governorship tickets for Peter Gregory Obi and Alex Oti, respectively. Consequently, all party tickets from the presidency to the state houses of assembly, the party says, are now open to all qualified Nigerians. The federal government has set up committees to resolve grey areas raised by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. In an ultimatum issued close to 3 weeks ago, the vice president of the association, Professor Chris Pubuna, says the committee will meet on September 11, 2024. Senator Saliu Mustafa, representing Kwara Central Senatorial District, has launched an annual university scholarship program committing over 200 million naira to support 200 indigent students throughout their undergraduate studies. The initiative aims to alleviate the financial burden on families, allowing bright but underprivileged students to pursue higher education without undue stress. Speaking at the unveiling of the scheme in Ilorin, Kwara State Capital, Professor Binta Sulaiman, chairperson of the Kwara Central Education Ad Hoc Advisory Committee, said the selected students would attend one of 5 Kwara-based private institutions. Oyo State's Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Agency has donated motorcycles, public address systems, and sanitary items to 10 local government areas to address the menace of open defecation in respective council areas and the state in general. Chairman of the agency, Babalola Afobaje, while speaking during the presentation of the items, said it is part of the activities lined up to mark his 100 days in office. He said the presentation of the items is aimed at ensuring a complete end to open defecation in the councils as well as in communities across the state. Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has approved the posting and redeployment of some senior officers, including branch chiefs, air officers, commanding directors, and commanders. A statement by the Nigerian Air Force's Deputy Director of Public Relations and Information, Group Captain Kabiru Ali, says the move is aimed at improving operational flexibility and introducing fresh ideas across various aspects of the service. Corps members have been advised to acquire new skills through the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) Skill Acquisition and Entrepreneurship Development Program in order to enable them create jobs of their own. Director General of the Corps, Brigadier General Waidi Ahmed, stated these while addressing Corps members in Gombe State Orientation Camp Amada and Taraba State Orientation Camp in Sibre. He said many ex-Corps members who utilized the opportunities of the service year to learn new skills are now employers of labor in different locations across Nigeria. The Northeast Development Commission (NEDC) has approved plans to support the victims of floods with palliatives in the Northeast sub-region. Managing Director of the Commission, Mohammed Al-Khali, stated this while inspecting roads destroyed by flood in Yobe State, insisting that the Commission would assist the flood victims with food, healthcare services, and other domestic items. Al-Khali noted that the Commission has already put a comprehensive framework to select beneficiaries from the 18 senatorial districts in 6 states of the region. The federal government has ordered an immediate investigation into the recent collapse of a 2-story building in Nomad's Land Quarters, Fage local government area of Kano State. The collapse, which occurred on Thursday last week, has left 2 people dead and 2 others hospitalized. That's according to a report by the National Emergency Management Agency. In a statement issued by Director of Information and Public Relations, Salisu Haiba, Minister of Housing and Urban Development Ahmed Dangewa expressed deep concern over the incident, directing that a full-scale investigation be conducted to determine the cause of the collapse. Let's turn to other stories for you tonight. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, says it has sealed a table water factory, Global Table Water in Delta State, for allegedly aiding and abetting the production, sale, and advertisement of unregistered and unwholesome miracle water under the pretext of fake NAFDAC registration number. The agency says that the sealed factory was producing and churning out the miracle water in cohort with a faith-based organization, Christ Mercy Land Delivery Ministries, led by Prophet Jeremiah Omoto. Meanwhile, the senior prophet of Christ's Mercy Land Deliverance Ministry, Abuja, Jeremiah Fufeyin, has denied allegations suggesting that his ministry has been using the name of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, to mislead the public regarding spiritual items. In a statement issued by its media arm and signed by Sophia Lloyd, the church described the allegations as false and misleading. Ogun State's Environmental Protection Agency has sealed 5 industries for environmental infractions. Chairman of Ogun State Task Force on Environmental Compliance and Enforcement, who doubles as a senior special assistant to the Governor on Environment, Farouk Akintunde, while leading the enforcement team to seal the companies, said they were shut down after the agency received petitions from the immediate communities of their incessant discharge of untreated water into the environment. You're watching News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When the news returns tonight, Wike signs MOU with Chinese engineering firms for electricity and water projects in the Federal Capital Territory. We have those details for you right after this break. Please don't go away. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of News Prime with Uyi Agmofwebe. Thank you for staying with us. Bandits have abducted nurses at a primary health care center in Lying Down Outer Village in Kuyelo Ward, Bernegwari area of Kaduna State. The bandits had reportedly targeted a primary school in Kuyelo, located on the outskirts of the town. However, when they could not find pupils to abduct, they reportedly moved to the nearby hospital where they abducted the nurses on duty. Quite a sad still there, but let's talk business. Oil marketers may begin the importation of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, following the recent declaration by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited that it would only fully offtake the product from the Dangote Petroleum Refinery if the market prices of the commodity were higher than the pump prices in Nigeria. NNPC also declared that Dangote and other domestic refineries were free to sell directly to any marketer on a willing buyer, willing seller basis, noting that it had no desire or intention to become the distributor for any entity in a free market environment. This is, however, contrary to what the president of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, has stated last week. The owner of the $28 billion refinery has stated that the facility was waiting for NNPC, stating that the National Oil Company would be the only off-taker of its petrol domestically. Some bit of controversies there, but as we turn to other stories for you tonight, Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, has refuted reports suggesting an increase in the value-added tax VAT rate from 7.5% to 10%. In a statement signed by him, Edun clarified that the VAT rate remains unchanged at 7.5%, as stipulated in the nation's tax laws. He further explained that the importance of maintaining a balanced tax system, emphasizing that Nigeria's tax framework is built on three key pillars: tax policy, tax laws, and tax administration. The Minister of Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, has formalized an agreement with two Chinese engineering and construction companies to enhance electricity and water supply within the territory. This was revealed through a memorandum of understanding signed between the FCT and both companies. A statement by Anthony Ogunlaye, Director of Press in the Office of the Minister, says the memorandum of understanding was finalized in Beijing, China. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has called for fair trade order during a visit to China aimed at boosting ties with the economic giant, despite a standoff between Beijing and the European Union. Sanchez met local counterparts, Premier Li Qiang, at Beijing's Ornate Great Hall of the People today, telling him Spain wishes to continue strengthening its relations with China. Sanchez's trip will also take him to Shanghai on Tuesday and Wednesday, where he will meet local officials and businesses, as well as inaugurate a new Cervantes Institute's cultural center. Still on the foreign scene, a plane with 48 people aboard has skidded off the runway in Indonesia's remote eastern region of Papua, injuring several passengers. The ATR-42 aircraft belonging to Trigana Air was taken off from an airport in the remote Yapen Islands Regency to Papuan capital Jayapura on Monday morning when it skidded off the runway. The flight was carrying 42 passengers, including a baby and 6 crew. At least 14 people have been killed in Israeli airstrikes on a number of military sites in central Syria. SANA cited a hospital director saying that another 43 people were wounded in the attacks in the vicinity of Masyaf in Hama province. A UK-based monitoring group earlier reported that at least 4 soldiers and 3 civilians were killed in strikes that destroyed military and scientific facilities where Iran-backed armed groups were present. And Modo Urrutia fled for exile in Spain Sunday and vowed to continue the fight for freedom and democracy. Urrutia arrived in Madrid after weeks in hiding in the crisis-torn South American country. The opposition says it can prove he won the July 28 elections in which Maduro claimed a victory that has been widely disputed. Shortly after touching down from a military plane, the 75-year-old's press team distributed an audio message in which he said he was confident that soon he will continue the fight to achieve freedom and the recovery of democracy in his home country, Venezuela. And now to some excitement from the world of sports. Team Nigeria's 7-medal haul at the Paris 2024 Paralympics, which ended on Sunday, marks the country's worst outing at the summer event. Nigeria finished the tournament with 2 gold, 3 silver, and 2 bronze medals to finish in 40th position. Nigeria's Folashade Oluwafemi Ayo broke her world record in the women's over 86 kg powerlifting, becoming the first power athlete in history to lift 166 kg and winning a gold medal in the process. It was an incredible performance from Oluwafemi Ayo, who took Nigeria's tally at the Paralympics to 7 medals overall. Fast-rising Nigerian player Perty Lucky was named the player of the match as Nigeria's under-19 female cricket team beat their Ghanaian counterparts by 178 runs in the first game of their series at the Unila Cricket Oval. Nigeria won the toss and elected to bat first, racing to 212 runs for the loss of 6 wickets in 20 overs. Ghana's task of beating Nigeria's total in the second innings was stifled by the incredible bowling of Pekilia Agboya and P. Suse, who got 3 wickets each, limiting the Ghanaians to just 34 runs out in 8.5 overs. As we end Global Television News Prime now, let's take a quick look at some of our top stories. The federal government has ordered probe of Kano building collapse. Department of State Services, DSS, has taken Nigerian Labour Congress President Joe Ajaero into custody. And in business, the federal government and Chinese firm have signed memorandum of understanding on power and water supply. On the foreign scene, several passengers have been injured as a plane skids off runway in Indonesia. And finally, in sports, we told you Danjuma has expressed pleasure as Falconers achieve under 20 World Cup milestone. And that's it on News Prime here tonight, and it came to you on Global Television live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. A quick reminder to our viewers that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365, Star Times, channel 276, and free to air on Nightcomsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using our Global TV, NG, and other handles as you now see on your screen. I'm Uyi Agumofwebe, thanking you very specially on behalf of the entire team here at Global Television in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, for watching. We will see you again.